Alrighty, YouTube, your boys Zxous, so we're back with another Goddess of Victory Nikke video. We are going to be talking about Naga's rankings because Pridewin put it up. A lot of people don't want to see it, right? A lot of people don't want to see rankings or ratings for Naga yet, especially since Tia's not out. But it doesn't matter if Tia's out or not, as long as you're able to see Naga's full capabilities, which you are with Ether. Then you can rank her, right? If we were to rank Naga based on how good she is with Tia specifically, because of the extra stuff that Tia is giving her, that wouldn't be fair. But just to have a shield on her, which you can get from Ether, you can see how good Naga is, right? So yeah, but let's see what they got going on here. So I see a couple S's, SSS. So double S on story and early and late story, double or triple S on boss solos and boss ads, and then PvP B tier, right? Maybe for PvP right now, I mean, I guess it would make sense, right? Nothing really is changing, right? So let's take a look at their pros and their cons. See, I put on my tier list before this one, thankfully, so we could compare what I was saying in my video compared to this. But let's take a look. So pros: one of the best off-burst healers. One of the best off-burst healers. And that's because, again, even in my video, I said if Naga was to have a high amount of HP, and even if she was to have the highest HP on your team, 9% of healing every 5 bullets is not bad. 9% of her final max HP to all allies every 5 bullets is pretty good, right? Because again, she's a supporter. You could have her HP skyrocket, literally, right? So that's just what I think personally. But it's really up to, I mean, you can see it however you want to see it, right? I'm changing music here. You can see it however you want to see it, but it's pretty good to me. Provides a unique buff damage dealt when attacking core. That's new, so yeah, it's pretty good. And the damage multiplier is pretty nice there, right? 85% on top of the 40% at level 10 skills, I believe. Yeah, it's a very big. Provides HP and cover heals. Very good. Provides HP? I don't know what they mean by this. Provides HP. I assume they mean by the heals. Right, so provides heals and cover heals. Oh no, just they provide HP and cover heals. So yeah, heals in general, right? Which is good, right? There's better options, and this character is not like what's her name? I guess technically hers is kind of like Coco's, right? Hers is like Coco's, but she's a burst 2, which makes it good because then you can run her with Litter, and even we haven't tested out Tia, but you don't need to I don't want to say we don't have to test with Tia. It's just we know how it's gonna go, right? I guess you could say with Tia, it's just going to back it up even more, but we know how it's going to go, right? We're not waiting for Tia to see if with Tia, Naga's going to be broken or not. If Naga's this good by herself, we know she's going to be a lot better with Tia, right? But she's really good by herself as well. Assist her major pair Tia heavenly in survivability because of the heals and the cover rebuild and obviously keeping her alive while she's taunting, etc. Right, dependent on shielded Nikkes like Tia, Ether, Folkwang, or Arya to unlock. Well, these parts I'll never agree with it realistically, Folkwang and Arya, because you're not using these characters with another burst 2. Let's be realistic, bruh. Naga's a burst 2 character. Even if you were to use Arya, you're still only getting this part of her burst skill, or this part of her kit. You're still not getting this attack buff, right? Because to get this, you have to use her burst skill, and you only get a shield from Arya's burst skill. Folkwang, you can get it, but it's only goes to 2 high attackers with the highest attack. If she doesn't have that, it's not gonna matter, and she's most likely not going to because she's a supporter. So it's really just Ether and Tia, because no matter what, those characters are really gonna help this character and actually give it to her. Realistically, that's just my opinion on it though. But I guess Arya and Folkwang also do give a shield. I guess they do unlock it, but it's really just Tia and Ether that you're going to be using with Naga, in my opinion. Core damage buff can be heavily diluted depending on the team comp or stage, because if there's no cores, it's not gonna matter, right? But again, I think her having the massive attack buff makes up for it, in my personal opinion. Gains Pierce on burst, but since she's a support, her stats make Naga incapable of dishing out high damage. I guess that's I guess, but the Pierce is just not even necessary though, right? But that doesn't change anything, I guess. I sure we could say this, but it's I hope we're not expecting Naga to deal great damage. I mean, I guess we are, right? Because all this stuff is going to her as well, right? It's not like this is going to the highest. This is all going to her on top of the pierce effect. So yeah, you're probably looking for some damage. I think she does pretty decent damage as a supporter, but if you're looking for her to do like Modernia numbers, then of course not. But I think she does pretty decent numbers as a supporter with everything going on, personally. Burst without being shielded barely provides anything because all it's providing is this 16% of casted attack for 10 seconds. Really not it, right? It's really not it, right? Because if we're comparing this to Noir, Noir is a character who has a permanent attack buff down near the same percentage for the entire game, as long as her HP is above, what's it called? 70%. So what's the point of, like, you know, Naga, who's doing it for only 10 seconds, and then that's it on the burst skill as well, when I could just use Noir, who has it permanently. But when you have this additional 31%, then that's a different story. Provides casted attack buff as a supporter type unit, which, okay, supporters don't have great attacking stats, right? So, like, I get it that Naga is a supporter. They could have just done what they did with Privity, honestly. Privity and Helm, the SSR, the regular Helm and Privity, right? Where they're an attacker and then they're supporting, right? I think because there's so much support mechanics, this character has to be a supporter in Nikke's eyes. But it, like, when they do these buffs right here where it says gives an attack percentage of the captain's attack, they need to make that character an attacker, right? I mean, it's fine as a supporter, especially since you're not forced, but like having her paired up with Tia, and then Tia bringing another burst 1 character, most likely going to be littered everybody's case, or most people's cases, I want to say. You're going to have enough attack, so I don't really see a problem there. But when it comes to this character individually, then, you know, it is what it is. But that's really what they got to do. Their pros and cons are fine. I guess some of their pros are, you know, I'm not going to lie, these pros, I don't know. Provides HP and cover HP, yeah. Unique buff. Assists her major pair in heavily into her survivability. Like, when you really read these pros, it doesn't seem like there's much, right? And even when you're reading this, like, one of the best healers and then provides heal and thing, or they're not like one of the best off burst healers, right? And then provides HP cover. I don't know, there's just not many pros for this character. Doesn't mean she's a bad character. It's just, I feel like there's so much more that could have been here for pros, especially if you're having them in SS in both early story and late story, and then triple S in boss, right? But she's a supporter, so I guess there's not much to talk about for this character. But yeah, I mean, she's good, right? There's no way she's a great character, right? At the end of the day, it really just depends on what you want with this character. Now, they have all these reviews and stuff like that, and again, even though Tia's not out, don't drag it. We know that Tia is gonna be good with this character. When Tia drops, you guys are just gonna actually see it. But when we tell you today, for example, like me, when I'm telling you guys right now, Tia and Naga are gonna be crazy in this game, there's no proof of that because Tia's not out. But when Tia drops, you guys are just gonna hear me say the same thing. Those two are broke together in the game. Because if Naga's this good by herself, imagine with Tia, who's doing much more as well, right? Than Ether specifically, because Naga's like this or this good with Ether. Imagine Tia, who's 10,000 times better than Ether, right? You guys could understand it, right? So I don't know. I think it's pretty fine. I think their tiers are fine. I'm not expecting her to be triple S everywhere because, again, I think the biggest thing that does hurt her is the fact that you have to have a shield on her for full capabilities. So I would say these tier rankings are fine. In PvP, I don't think I'd ever use her in PvP, but, you know, maybe not now. Maybe when Tia drops, I'll use her in PvP. But for now, probably not. So I can't really talk much about PvP. But everything else seems to be fine. You guys let me know what you think. Let me know if there's any other pros or cons that you guys would add to these ever. And yeah, I mean, kind of just, I don't know. Like, does it prove my point? Because that's what I like doing. I like taking their pros and cons and comparing it to my opinion. Like, technically it does, but it's not actually wording what I say. Right? Right? Like, I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. It's always the X's. My tiers and this tier are the same. They're like, our tiers are the same. But I just wanted their pro to back me up more. A little petty thing there. You guys let me know what you think. Your boys, the X's. I'm out. Peace.